Okay, good morning, everyone. So, last session we learned about how JavaScript is used. So, we discussed about various techniques of integrating JavaScript. We can use inline, we can use embedded, we can use external file. I uploaded one document. In the document, all information is there. Okay, so see the document. So introduction, embedded, external, everything. Yeah? So in this, what we discussed in the last session with examples, everything is present in the document. And we learned what is JavaScript strict mode. We discussed how to write legacy code. So we learned how to use JavaScript minification. Already we learned minification. And minification we learned in CSS. Same we have to do in JavaScript. So in JavaScript, in how many ways JavaScript is used in a page, we learned that. Now after understanding this, now we will see today what are the JavaScript techniques, how JavaScript refers HTML elements, how JavaScript refers HTML elements. That is important. This is the first thing you need to understand, how JavaScript refers HTML elements. That means we discussed already drawbacks also. What are the drawbacks of JavaScript? It is not strongly typed. It is not internally strictly typed. It will not support OOP features. If it is not supporting OOP features, it is hard to extend. All these are some drawbacks we discussed. Now, first, what is the purpose of JavaScript in HTML? The purpose of JavaScript in HTML is DOM manipulations. That means adding elements into DOM, removing elements from the DOM, updating data into elements, all these comes under interaction. So the question is, if JavaScript have to control HTML, how JavaScript take control of HTML? How it is going to take control of HTML? We have to see that. JavaScript taking control of HTML means how it refers HTML elements and uses them. Let's see. Actually, I am designing a simple page here. So our project is yep. So this is the application. Now we will create a simple HTML page. Okay. So here in JavaScript home page, we will keep some elements. We will design some elements here. So in this page, I am creating one is a container. In the container, we are displaying some text, some image. So we have a div, and in this we will keep an image. Image is defined with width and height, but image is not defined with any source. We have a border for one. That is just one image is present in the page. Next, we have another container. In this, we have a form. In the form, I will give a heading as a register user. In this, we have a input type is text and we have input type button. Actually, this is HTML4 button, right? We learned two types of buttons, generic, non-generic, HTML4, HTML5, right? Now, in this, we have another form, okay? And we have a form. This form is having user login and input type is equal to some text. And we have another input type button. This is another button. So here we have text. I'll say some email and I will put a placeholder your email. Okay, this is a placeholder. So I'm adding a placeholder, your user ID. Okay, so these are the details. Now observe here, when I run this page, in the page, we have one image, we have two forms. In first form, we have two elements, form elements. Form element heading is not a form element. Form elements, we are having text box and a button. But what is happening is image is empty and form buttons also empty. For button, I haven't given any value. If I haven't given any value, then button will be empty. There is nothing inside that button, right? Let's see. Now, what we want is, we want JavaScript to take control of these elements. We want JavaScript to put an image. We want JavaScript to put a button. You see, this is image. Image is currently empty. So we have two forms inside this. And actually, those forms also empty. Yeah. You see here, in this, the form buttons also empty. Now, I want JavaScript to take control of this page. When to take control of this page? When page is loading, at the time of loading. So I will do one thing. Let's go into the body, and here we are writing body on load. We are writing a script here, body on load. That means when the body loads, we will define a function called body load. Body load is the function. we have to write the function in the script. We are using a script, and the script type is what? Takes JavaScript, and in the script we have a function. The function name is body load. You have to define in the way how you configure the initialization and everything, right? Now here we have the function body load. It indicates that whenever page loads, what functionality I have to do. Right now, I want JavaScript to collect this image and put some image source. That means we want to take control of elements in the page. How JavaScript can take control of page? How JavaScript can refer HTML? How CSS refers HTML? How CSS refers HTML elements? By using selectors. Class, ID, all these are selectors now. So what you should say selectors. That means HTML takes control by using what? HTML takes control by using elements, selectors. CSS takes control using selector. A selector will tell where that effect should apply. That means CSS reference is completely depending on selectors. How JavaScript refers? JavaScript refers in so many ways. That means what are the JavaScript references? Number one, JavaScript can refer. So JavaScript can refer HTML elements by using DOM hierarchy. By using DOM hierarchy. JavaScript can refer elements by using DOM hierarchy. That is very important. Using the DOM hierarchy, it can refer the elements. DOM hierarchy means, I already told you in the beginning of HTML, HTML presents DOM. But DOM have certain order. What is the parent of DOM? DOM have certain order. Actually, separate diagram I will show you, but DOM is having certain order. Actually, DOM order is generally DOM parent is window. Parent is window. Window is the parent of DOM. That means the parent element of DOM is window. Now in this window, it comprises of several other elements. In that window, it contains so many. Window means browser window. In the window, you will have options. That means you will have so many. Like in window, again, you will have a window. Already window is there. I will simply put here document. We have history. We have navigator. So like this, we already have some options. Window, actually this window is frames. So document, history, navigator, window, location, so many will be there. Location. These are all actually the parts of window. Now inside this document, again hierarchy will be there. Inside document, again hierarchy. Hierarchy means actually document contains images, document contains links, document contains anchors. So links are different, anchors are different. Link means link tag. Anchor means hyperlink. Link tag means CSS links and icons links all. We have so many like that. We have like plugins. We have plugins don't come under here. We have like forms, means images, links, anchors, forms. These are all document related. Actually, in the forms, again a hierarchy is present. In the forms, again a hierarchy is present. That means actually forms contains actually elements. What are the form elements? Form elements means button, text box, check box. These are all the elements of form. Now this is the hierarchy actual. That hierarchy diagram I will give you in the notes, right? This is the hierarchy. For example, I will show you here now. Let's open a presentation. Yeah. And let's see. In this DOM hierarchy, by seeing this DOM hierarchy, you can tell, but I am showing you the original DOM diagram, right? We will see the actual DOM diagram. Now, according to the hierarchy, so what you have seen in the DOM hierarchy, what is the location of image and what is the location of button? That is what we need to understand. That is what DOM hierarchy is. So can you tell me the location of image? Location of image means its complete path from parent. Complete path from parent. What is the parent? Window. In window, document. In document, images. In a page, how many images can be there? So many images can be there. That means this images is a collection. It is a collection. And in a collection, you can access images by index number 0, 1, 2, 3. Right? So the point here is when you look at the DOM hierarchy, so this is the JavaScript DOM. You need to understand how HTML presents elements. This is the DOM. In the DOM hierarchy, you can see the parent. The parent is window. And in the window, you can see in the window, you have all this. In that we have document. In document, we have others. This is the basic DOM hierarchy actually. Now, important in this hierarchy, in the DOM hierarchy, we need to refer images. Now see the images hierarchy. It is window. In window, we have document. In document, we have images. So JavaScript can refer HTML elements by using that hierarchy. See, I am using window. In window dot document, document dot images. Images is a collection. In that, in our page, how many images are there? 1. That means its index number is how much? 0. It is an image. In an image, if you want to show some image, which attribute you have to use? src. Dot src is equal to, you have to put the image. That means suppose I am giving dot dot slash path. We have public slash what? Images slash, suppose some shoe dot jpg. That is the image path. That means how HTML images, links, buttons are referred by JavaScript. Generally CSS refers using selectors, but JavaScript have different techniques. The first technique is DOM hierarchy. This is the hierarchy how it refers, and you can see it applies that image. That means now JavaScript is taking control of an image and applying some image. So DOM hierarchy, now according to that, now see in register form for this button, I want to put a value called register. The value called register, a button is currently empty. Now tell me the location of button. Location of button, hierarchy of button, window, in that document, in that forms, in the forms again we have elements. In elements, these are all elements. This is not order. Elements can be so many. That is not order. So now see here, we need to refer this according to the hierarchy. Here how many forms are there? 2 forms are there. Register form index is how much? 0. In that how many form elements are? In that how many form elements are there? 2 elements are there. One is text box, another one button. What is button index? Button index is 1. 0 is text box, 1 is button. So you have to refer like this now. How do we refer? So window dot document dot forms, forms of 0 dot elements, elements of 1. That refers to the button, and it is a button. Button usually have a value. Button value I will give as a register, then it is going to apply that value and display here. You see it will display that here. That is the DOM hierarchy. So now I need to put login for this login screen. Now I hope you can tell now. What is it? Window document dot forms, forms of 1, in that elements, elements of 1 and its value. Value is login. That is how we can define. It will apply that here. This is one technique. This is the fastest technique which is understandable to browser. Not the fastest technique for developer, because it's a lengthy hierarchy we have to write, but it is the fastest way that browser can understand. Browser can understand easily this because it is native. This is the hierarchy. So, but problem is, so many problems are there. What is the problem in this type of technique? So generally, DOM hierarchy means we have to define the DOM hierarchy like this. Syntactically, write like this. We have to write window dot document dot images of 0 dot src. Like this we have to define. Or we have to write window dot document dot forms, forms of 0 dot elements, elements of 1 dot value, something we have to write like this. So what is the advantage of DOM hierarchy is it is faster in rendering. As it is native to browser. It is faster in rendering because it is native to browser. But what is the problem is referring complete hierarchy. Referring complete hierarchy is always complex. Referring complete hierarchy is always complex. It is taking so much time for developers. Another problem is referring by index. Referring by index is always an issue when element position changes. Am I right? Referring by index is always an issue. It is always an issue when element position changes. It always changes. That means Referring by index is always an issue means because currently you are writing by using index refer. But what happened later? I want to add one more element or I want to change the position of element. For example, see here I said user ID. I want password. Then I will add one more field. When I add one more field, now button index number changes. Then again you have to go to the code and update its index number. For example, as of now, suppose I remove this button from here and put before the text box. Then automatically what happens? Now the text box will contain register. That means now again what I have to do, go to the code. In that the element index I have to change to how much? 0. Then it is updated there. This is always risky. Every time changing the index is always risky. So this is one problem when you are referring by using DOM hierarchy. Referring lengthy hierarchy is complex, and referring by index is always problem, because whenever element position changes, the index also changes. We need to update the code every time. This is complicated technique. So this is example. I will give you this example. Copy and paste. This is the example. This is one technique. But you saw the problems in the technique. So there is another technique. Another technique is JavaScript can refer elements by using name. JavaScript can refer elements by using name. This becomes little easy. That means every element in page can have a reference name. JavaScript can access elements by their name. That is very simple. But here also some problems are there. Let's put that here and see, right? Now what I am doing here is I am removing this logic now, and you can see now this is the output. Now again empty. Now what we are doing is go to the elements. For image, I will give a name called pic. For form, I am giving a name called FRM register. For this button, I am giving a name called BTN register. For this text box, I am giving a name as TXT ID. No need to give name for every element. You need to give name to only the elements that you want to refer. So here again, second form will have a name that is FRM login. Button will have a name BTN login. Now picture is having a name, and that is pic. Now see, after giving the name, I want to apply some image. Then see what I am doing here on body load. Very simple. What is the name given for picture? Pic. Pic have src source. What is the source? / public / images / some jacket.jpg. And you can see that image is applied. That's very simple. That means you can give a simple reference name and you can access by that name and you can apply. But what is problem in this technique? That means you can do this and it is very simple. But what are the problems? That means syntactically we can define like this. Suppose we have an image and it is having a name called a pic. Then we have to access pic.src is equal to some path. That's it. We have to simply apply like that. Just only syntax I am giving. But what is the problem here? First problem is if any element is a child element, you cannot access directly. If any element is a child element, you cannot access directly without referring to its parent. It is compulsory to refer the parent. For example, image is an independent element, but button is not independent. Button is a part of form. You see now here we have button name is btn register. This is the button. So 1 second, we'll see. Okay, so here we have a button. btn register is the name of the button, and it is present in a form. So here in the logic, I'm accessing directly btn register. It is a button. Button usually have a value. Dot value, button value is equal to register. I applied that register, and you can see it's not working. It's not working because you cannot refer any child element directly, because it is a member of which element? Form. Without referring form, you cannot refer that element. That means you have to refer the form also. So what is the form name? frm register. In that btn register. Now you can see that is working fine. That means we have to refer the parent. Directly you cannot access which element you want. If it is an independent element, you can. But if it is any another child element, you have to access the hierarchy. Suppose now imagine I have to access a table cell. Then first I have to refer to table row. Then I have to refer table body. Then I have to refer table body, table row, table cell. That's lengthy. But there is no other way if you are using name. That means how we have to do frm login. Another form is there na? In that, what is it? btn login dot value is equal to the value. So what is the value? Value is what? Login. That is how we need to define. Now you can see it will apply that to that button. This is the hierarchy, how it actually uses. I will copy this. So this is one point. Another problem is there. That means here what is the syntax? So we have to use form name, and we have to use element name, and we have to define the property is equal to whatever value. We have to refer in this hierarchy. So that is lengthy, every time lengthy. Another problem is you learnt already that point, like name name attribute can be same for several elements. Then problem will come. I told you that name can be common for several elements. Then it is a, already we learned radios now. All radios will have a same name. If same name, then how to access? That means if you have same name element another in the page, then you have an issue. That means it will not work. So that is the problem with name attribute. That means name can be common for several elements. In that case, now JavaScript is confused which one to apply. Then it will simply show errors. So that is problem with name reference. But if there is no element by that name already, then you can go with this technique, right? This is another. Is there any problem in changing position? There is no problem in changing position because you are not using any index. If you are not using any index, it doesn't matter. So if I change the button from here and kept before this, then you can see it will be there. There is no problem in this. So this is the concept, how it works for a name. And what is the problem with the name? There is another technique. Another technique is JavaScript. JavaScript can refer HTML elements by using ID. JavaScript can refer HTML elements by using ID. First method, it can refer by using DOM hierarchy. Second method, it can refer by using name. Third method, it can refer by using ID. What is speciality of ID is JavaScript document object provides a method called get element by ID. It provides a method called get element by ID. What is the specialty is it can access any element by using ID directly. That means you can access any child element without referring to its parent. That looks better. Without referring to its parent, directly you can access any element from anywhere. So you don't need to follow the hierarchy now. Even if it is a child element, you don't need to refer its parent. Directly you can access that element. That is the concept of ID. Remember, just like CSS, you can have ID, you can have DOM, you can have name, all in one program you can use, depending on situation, right? So here, how to define, for example, now I will remove this logic which is by name. Okay, I removed the logic by name. Now it is empty. Now let's go. First, give an ID for every element. ID for, I will give ID for this as pick. ID name can be same. Now, which element button? For this ID, I will give as btn register. I am not giving any for form. I can use another button. ID. ID is what? BTN login. Now, how to access them? Simple. We have to use document dot get element by ID. Capitalization matters. You have to write exactly like this. Get element by ID. And here we have to define element ID is pick. What is the element under that name? Which element is present under that name? Image. Image will have dot what? SRC. SRC is same. Dot dot slash public slash images slash shoe.jpg. And you can see it is going to apply that image here. Work here. This time you can access any element, document get element by ID, BTN register dot value, because it is a button. Button value is what? The register. And it is able to access that register. Oh, sorry, this is I given for text box. The ID I given for text box. This ID must be for whom? This ID must be for button. Then button will have that ID. Even I change the position of that, it doesn't matter. Even I change the position, it doesn't matter. Now you can just access by using ID. Document get element by ID. So BTN what? Login. Login dot value is equal to login. Then you can see it is going to display that here. This is simple how it is going to manage. So this is ID selector, how you can define and access using ID. But we have a problem here. Let's see the syntax. We have suppose a input type is equal to button. ID is BTN some register. So we have to just access document dot get element by ID BTN register dot value is equal to some value. Not only value, ID, styles, everything we can apply. Currently I am showing only value. Every height, width, border, everything you can apply, right? For example, for image, I am giving only value here. This is image now, I am giving SRC. But image border, image size, image related effects, everything you can control. I will show you in later levels. Currently we are using only SRC, right? Every concept of image you can control. That means every property of image you can control using JavaScript, not only SRC and values. Okay, right. Now, what is problem in this ID? We have problem with ID also. What is the problem with ID is ID is used as selector in CSS also. That means in this case, what happens? Multiple elements can have same ID again. Because ID is used by CSS also. You know, CSS also using ID selector. Then two headings may have same ID. Two buttons may have same ID. Then again problem will come. That is the reason you cannot say which one is best. Right? That best is decided by developer according to the requirement. If ID is having problem, then he will use name. Name have problem, then he will use DOM. And another important is we can try. This is example. This is another example. So you learned three techniques. What are those? First one is DOM hierarchy. Second one is name. And third one is ID. You can use that. Next important, another technique is JavaScript can refer, JavaScript can refer, elements by using CSS selectors. By using CSS selectors, can refer elements by using CSS selectors. CSS selectors means type selector, ID selector, class selector, relational selector, descendant selector, so many we learned. JavaScript can access by using CSS selectors also. For example, there are 10 spans. In that, I want to access second span. Then we can use nth element. Nth element is selector. Na? I want the first one. We can access first child. Right? That means CSS selectors allows to go to any location easily. And JavaScript can take help of them. For that, what JavaScript will do is, JavaScript uses a method, a document method called, it uses a document method called query selector. It uses a document method called query selector. What this query selector can do is, it can select elements of HTML by using CSS technique. By using CSS technique, it can select elements. That means syntactically how, for example, there is a button, or say suppose there is an image. How we can access this image? Document dot query selector, type selector. Image is not having ID, image is not having class. Its type is what? Its type is IMG na. Directly you can access like this. You can directly access like this. IMG and what source? SRC you can define. Like this you can do. This is what this is called type selector. Na? For example, this image is having an ID called pic. Then also you can you don't need to use get element by ID. You can try this. Document dot query selector. How IDs are accessed? Hash pic. You can use like this. Understood? Suppose this image is having a class called, suppose some shoe. That is the class. Then what we can do here? Document dot query selector dot shoe, because it is a class na, dot src. You can apply like this. This is good because CSS selectors can make more choices, can be easy for accessing any element. So that is the reason we can go with this technique. But here also problems there, because IDs again same, class can be same, type can be same. But if there is a problem with ID or type or class, then alternative is query selector. If any element is not present and we don't know its ID, then we can access by using type selector. For example, see here now, I will remove this, okay, and you can see it is empty. I am accessing here document dot query selector, and here which element? Element is IMG. What is SRC? SRC is public / images / some jacket.jpg, and that image should apply into that image. Suppose I want to access the button. You see this button have an ID, BTN register. I am just using here document dot query selector hash btn register dot src. Sorry, it is a value. Value is what? Register. And you can see it is register. Suppose this is having a class called btn-login, right? Then we can access here in this way. Document.query selector dot btn-login dot value is equal to login. That's how we can use the CSS selectors. So depending on your requirement, you can use any of these. This is another example for CSS. So these are all the important techniques of referring elements. Referring elements by DOM, referring element by name, referring element by tag name, and referring element by using query select. Actually, there are other methods that we will learn later, not now. Other methods, for that you need to learn arrays. Actually, JavaScript provides various methods to access, to refer and access multiple elements. Here we are accessing only one element, but it have methods to access. Suppose I want to access all paragraphs. I want to access all buttons. Then what we have to do is provides. Okay. Now what you can do is, for that you can use the methods get elements by tag name. We can use get elements by class name. We can use get elements by name. These are the methods. Get elements by name, get elements by tag name, gets element by class. But these are not understandable now to you, because for that you have to learn arrays and all. Right? I will just give you a point. Suppose I want to know how many forms are present in the page. Then usually I write the logic like this. So result, I am writing result is equal to, just roughly I am giving result is equal to document dot get elements by tag name. Which tag? Form tag. That means tag name will get the elements by the tag name. So how many elements are there by the name tag called form? It will get all of them, and it will store them in result. Temporarily see, I am showing you an alert, total number of forms. So here result, so we have to use result dot length. I am using result dot length. So actually now you can see it says total number of forms 2. That means it can get that and it can display how many forms are there. 2 forms are there. It can get that information and show us. So we can access the elements by tag name. That is element by tag name. But later you will learn, not now required for that. Actually, how many divs are present? That means you can simply write div and the total number of what? Divs. And you can see total number of divs, how many are there. It should get that and display. It say 3 divs are there. That means how many divs, how many forms, how many paragraphs you can access them. It will get that information and display. Actually, I have 3 divs inside this page. We have 3 divs inside the page, right? So that is by using tag name. So just a syntax I will define here. Similarly, class name you can refer. So class name means, suppose I want to define here, get elements by class name. How many elements are using the class called btn login? How many elements are using btn login? So total number of login buttons I will give here, right? Then how many elements are using login? That says only one. Total number of what? Login button. So one. It will get that and it will display. So that is technically accessing by tag name, by class name, and not only that, it is also by using name. So what is that? Another example is this. Another is name. For example, in this it is not suitable here. We will see here. I am defining remove. Okay, I will just keep here. You know, we have options. I have a field set and a legend, and I said payment, and here we have input type is equal to radio, and name is equal to pay, and this is cash. Input type is equal to radio, and this radio also pay. This is some credit card, right? Or say UPI, and input type is equal to radio, and name is equal to pay. So, and here I defined some credit card. Now the point is here, I want to know how many payment methods are there. How many payment methods are there? Then where here result is equal to document dot get elements by name. Elements by name. What is the name? Pay. Then I will put an alert. So total number of payment methods, that is result dot length. Then it will get total number of payment methods are 3. It will display that. We can access by using the names. This is later required, not now. But for that you need to learn arrays and all these things you can handle. So before starting into JavaScript programming and all, first we should know how JavaScript takes control over HTML, because that is the primary thing we have to do every day. So without knowing how to access element, you cannot control the elements. JavaScript main responsibility is to manipulate the elements. For that, first it need to access the elements. These are all the various methods of accessing elements, right? Next important is, after knowing how to access the elements, next important is what are the JavaScript output techniques, output methods. What are the JavaScript output methods? In every computer programming language, input and output are the primary things. That means generally what is difference between a presentation language and a programming language? HTML is a presentation language, but JavaScript is not like that. JavaScript is a programming language. What is the ability of a programming language? A programming language can take input from you. It can process that input and it can show output to you, result. That means it can handle communication with you. It can interact with you. It will ask what you want. You provide. It will process that and it will generate an output and show. So every programming language must handle input and output. And in JavaScript, how output is handled. First we will see then how input is handled. Actually, in JavaScript, there are various output techniques. JavaScript can handle output by using alert, by using conform. It can handle output by using document.write, by using console.log error. So it has so many info, debug, all these are the methods. Warn, all these are console methods actually. And we have like inner HTML, outer HTML, we have inner text. These are all basic output methods. That means these are the various methods of showing output. The various methods of showing output. That means if we want to show some output to the user, then it is done by using various techniques. These are all the techniques. What is difference and when to use these techniques? I will show you that here. See, actually, we will put here a simple button. I will remove this logic also. And I will put an empty script here. Okay. Now, in this, we have a button. That means we just added some button. There is a button called delete. Now, what should happen when user clicks on delete button? I want to show some message output. Record deleted, some message I want to show. So then what happens is here, we have to write an event on click. On click, I will write delete click. Remember, this is a standard name and this is your own name. You can give any name. Any name you can give. So button click, delete click, or button a hello, hi, anything, right? That is user defined name. I am giving reasonable delete click. So here what should happen is we will write a function and say delete click. So when user clicks the button, that function will fire up. I want it to show some message and you can do that by using alert. We can do that by using alerts. By using alert. Actually, it alert, it pops up a message box in window. It pops up a message box in window. And what it can do is it pops up a message box in window, but message box is RC data type. RC data type means what? It can display only string, text, characters, and numbers. It cannot show any symbols, images, or anything. It is simple message box with a message. Now, another point about this is alert here is syntactically, it is like this, alert, and whatever string you want to display as message. That's it. Now, what is problem in this alert box is, this is showing that. What is the problem in this alert box? That means it is displaying this. The problem in this alert box is it will not allow to cancel. It will not allow to cancel. Only it uses only OK to confirm. OK to confirm. So here you see now, and very important is it will not allow to perform any other operation without confirming, without confirming. Without confirming, it will not allow to perform any another operation. That means you see here, I will put some heading and I say click delete button. Just I am giving that message. Now you see I am keeping an alert. In the alert, I am giving a message like record will be deleted. Record will be deleted. So are you sure? Are you sure? Like this I am giving. Now you can see this is alert which is used for output. When user clicks the delete button, it will show that output here. But here you can see in this alert box, this is the alert box it is showing. This is the alert box it is showing. And in this alert box, only OK is there. There is no cancel. There is no even close button also here. Right? Then you may think like I will escape, use escape key. Escape key will escape. But escape is also equal to OK. That means there is no chance of canceling it. Another important here. See, I click on escape, it is gone. But escape is equal to OK. Is equal to OK. And when it is displayed, you cannot do any another work. Any another work you cannot do in the page until or unless you confirm. That means you click OK, then you can continue. So when it is good is generally you are designing a form. When you are designing a form, in that form, lot of validations are there. And users are submitting the form. Some errors came. He is not noticing that error. Without noticing the error, he is clicking submit again and again, and it's not submitting. You might have faced that problem. Sometimes there is some error in the form. You haven't observed it. Trying to submit, it is not submitting. Why you are confusing users? If any error is there, just pop up and show on the screen. And don't allow him to do any another work until he reads it and click OK. Right? That is very good. That means you put an alert. So alert will not allow him to submit or do anything. He must confirm, then he will continue. Right? In such cases, this is good. But what is drawback? You cannot cancel. Here, when I click on delete, it says, are you sure? Are you sure means okay or cancel. I am not sure, then cancel. Then where is cancel? No cancel is there. For such things, alert is not good. For that, what you can do is, for that you can try, instead of alert, you can use a confirm. Confirm is same like alert, but it allows to cancel. But it allows to cancel. You see now, same like alert. So same like alert, we are using a confirm. That means you see, I'm using a confirm. I will give example both together we will see. I'm giving a confirm. What is advantage? It is similar. It is similar to alert, but provides cancel. Cancel. So that means you see here, I'm using confirm. I'm using confirm syntactically. So we have confirm and you string message, whatever the message you want to show for confirm. And you see this time when I click delete, now there is a cancel button also. Same like alert. Okay, cancel. But remember, as of now, okay and cancel both do same work. You click okay, it is gone. You click cancel, it is gone. That means cancel button is there, but there is no work for that button. You have to mention. That means having a button is not enough. You have to tell when OK clicked, what should happen? When cancel clicked, what should happen? How do we know which one they clicked? Actually, confirm box returns boolean true on OK when OK clicked, and it returns false when cancel clicked. Based on that, our developers will write program. That means what is the result of confirm box? The result of confirm box is true or false. So what I will do here, see, this is confirm box. What is the result of confirm box, true or false? I will store that result in a flag. Flag is just a word. We generally call them as variables. Later we will learn variables. Flag is just a variable name. Any name you can give. Flag, because we use flags to take confirmation actually. Generally, flag contains true or false now. That means we have to write a condition. If flag is equal to true, that means which button they clicked? If it is equal to true, they clicked OK. Then we will put a message. We will put a message alert saying that record deleted. Record deleted like this. Otherwise, it should not do anything. That means if it is not true, means it is cancelled. I am not writing anything, or you can write. You can write else. Else we will put an alert saying that you cancelled. Understood? This message should come. Now observe carefully here. When I click delete button, are you sure? I say cancel, it says you cancelled. Now I click on delete, I say OK, then it says record deleted. That means we have to write for the buttons, otherwise no use. We have to write for the buttons. So that is very important. Generally, when you are using alerts and confirms. Alert and confirm both are same. But alert is pop up without any cancel. Confirm with OK and cancel, but they don't work. We have to write logic for that. So we have to verify, is it OK clicked or cancel clicked by using a Boolean value, right? And very important one more is, so note is to display multi-line message, you can use /n for line break. You can use /n for line break. Actually, for line break, we use BR in HTML. But this is not HTML, it is window pop-up. It is related to window. If it is related to window, it is not related to page. It is related to window. Then suppose we have to write like this. So here, confirm delete and /n. I am giving like this. Confirm delete /n. Record will be deleted. Are you sure? So, or confirm delete, record will be deleted. Are you sure? I want to give in a next line. Then here I will put /n. That means now you see here, I click on this button, then 2 lines will come. 2 lines will come. You can add /n any number of times, any number of lines you can display. Otherwise, everything comes in one line, wraps. Right? We need to control that like this. Another important question asked many times is, can I add my own button here? Or can I change this OK button to some other name or cancel button to some other name? You can't, because this is not your designed dialog box. It is the dialog box provided by browser. You can't change colors, you can't change buttons. Then if I want my own dialog box like this, already you learned. What is it? In Bootstrap, you learned a model, na? That model is used if you want in your own style. That means you want your own colors, effects, images to put and your own buttons, then you design your own. That is not conform, that is model. We can use bootstrap, right? Initially this is one important, right? How to manage this is example. Again, I will give this as an example for this. So two important techniques are there. What are those two important techniques? One is alert, another one confirm, and we have so many others that we will see in tomorrow session. Okay, first you need to practice up to this, right? Then we will discuss others, and tomorrow we will see other output and input, how to handle both input and output, right? Tomorrow we'll continue, right?